Hello, this is Christeen Skinner again, and I'm sorry it's been a little while since we put up a YouTube, but it's been an extraordinarily busy time. I've been starting some classes for new schools, and there was the Mayo conference this weekend, and I'm now getting ready to do two events in Istanbul next month. However, of course, priority goes to the monthly May class, which is this time on May the 25th. And I thought you'd like to know the kind of research that I've been doing. You may know that we all talk about the world axis. Now, what we mean by that is that when a planet goes across 0 degrees of Aries or Cancer or Libra or Capricorn, these are very powerful degrees. In days gone past, they used to mark the start of the new season. And of course, with climate change, all of that has changed, but it doesn't alter the fact that those are still very, very powerful degrees. Now, all that means is that they usher in a new vibration and high energy levels. And in 2025, we have the combination of both Neptune and Saturn crossing one of those very important degrees. Now, from a geocentric, that's the Earth-centered perspective, Neptune crossed over into Aries at the end of March. But heliocentrically, it's not doing it until the 23rd of May. And that's really interesting because it does it on the 23rd of May, and then Saturn does it geocentrically just a couple of days later, I think on the Monday, the 26th. So the big changes really are likely to happen right over when I'm doing the May monthly event. So there'll be much to discuss then, because I've been listening to other people talking about this combination of Saturn and Neptune, the realization of dreams, the love of old wine, for example, the possibility of illness, the big changes on the political stage. These are all different themes running contrapuntally. So I needed to decide what I was going to put into the May event and the research that I was going to focus on. The feedback from the last event was fantastic. It was the largest class we'd ever had, and the feedback has been just super useful. Now, because so many people want things on crypto, I've decided to do a separate crypto event, which will be on July the 12th. But I will put a little bit of crypto into the May event. And what I plan to do is to look at Bitcoin and Ethereum only. I'll do the others, I'll focus on all of the others for the July event. But going back to this May event, the various requests, which we haven't had for a long time, to look at foreign exchange, and particularly the relationship between the euro and the US dollar, and between the Canadian dollar and the US dollar. And that means that we have to start with the thing that's called the dollar index. So I'm actually going to be looking at how you work with currency pairs, and I'll make that the biggest theme for the May event. Notwithstanding that, and just going back to that world axis, I've mentioned that both Saturn and Neptune are crossing it. You might like to know that Jupiter and Mars are also going to do that within the next few weeks. In fact, those two cross over almost simultaneously over June the 9th and 10th. So we really are at a world-changing moment, as if you didn't know that from just watching the news. But anyway, I'm hoping many of you will enjoy the May event and will come and join us. I look forward to seeing you next time when we will be at the other side and Neptune will be fully, absolutely fully into Aries.